G,
Wilson, what's going on, fam? How you doing?
I'm good, fam. How you? You can hear me good?
Yeah, I can hear you pretty good. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yo, if we get kicked off for whatever reason, I'm gonna do the same shit. Just hop back on and then send a request.
Okay, all right, bet.
All right. Let me just pin the comment real quick. How's the fam, though? Everybody good?
Yeah, man, everybody good. Lot going on with this corona, virus,
Hell
but
yeah.
yeah, it, it stopped a lot of things. Taylor, she was getting ready to go start track. TJ and them, they was getting ready to go into the tournament. So,
Man, that's what's
man,
killing everyone, man.
yeah,
Senior,
man, that killed the seniors, man.
that's
Killed
crazy,
seniors,
man. I
and
wonder what they gonna do. They gonna give them that eligibility back or what?
no.
No?
Mm-mm. They played their season. They only giving
That's
scholarships
true.
back to the what
Spring,
is
the
the
spring sports, right?
spring
Yeah.
after, yeah, spring sports, yeah.
All right, well, we're going to get into it, man. We got Terrence Shannon Sr., 20-year vet. Um, so go ahead, just introduce yourselves. You can say your age, where you from, born and raised. If you got a nickname that stuck with you or whatever.
Well, Terrence Shannon Sr., born and raised in Chicago, Illinois. Um, Born December 16th, 1979. I'm officially 40 years old. This is my 20th career as well, playing basketball. I'm a father of five, three boys, two girls. Mm, Man, and then had a pretty good career, playing
Are you
basketball.
officially retired or you still?
No, I haven't officially retired yet. This with this virus and everything going on, at my age, it can definitely accelerate it. You know,
Right.
but not yet. But I am looking at some other things right now outside of basketball. Into coaching. Training kids. So
For sure, for
yeah.
sure. All right, so yeah, so just walk us through like your high school career. Like any big names you played with, or if you won any titles, or if you even played ball in high school like that.
Well,
I
well,
think
well. You my man, so you know a whole lot about my career. You've been my
right,
roommate.
right.
so,
For
so,
sure.
but my high school career was pretty much fast. Cut my freshman year, sophomore year, had a knee injury, didn't even try out for the team.
Yeah.
Finally made the team my junior year, barely played. Then my senior year, I ended up starting. Of course, after my senior year, I still had no place to go. But I played against some pretty good players in high school. Aaron McGee. And went to Oklahoma. Melvin Eli, Antoine Randall. They was in my conference.
Yeah.
My center who I played with, Maurice Linton. He actually got a full scholarship to Wisconsin.
All right.
And that was from his junior year. So we had a pretty good basketball around that time in Chicago. Paul McPherson, Ronnie Fields,
How
Kevin
how
Garnett
tough
came.
how tough is that? I mean, I watched some of your son's like Chicago like high school games in Chicago. How tough is the high school basketball in Chicago?
I mean, it's pretty tough. It's like playing football in Florida. That's what you get.
Yeah.
Like basketball is what you get in Chicago. Everywhere you go, you're gonna get a great run, whether it's north, south, east, west. I'm born and raised from the south side. Where of course, I think it's still dominant basketball out of Chicago. But it's basketball is tough. You got to come in around, especially in them small gyms in Chicago.
Right, right. All right, so what was your numbers like your senior year? Did you have any crazy numbers or
My senior year, I say it was probably like 14 and 10.
okay.
Like I was kind of like under the radar. Like not playing no AAU basketball.
Yeah.
But always playing street basketball. Playground basketball. That's where I always got got my basketball, my nature from, you know, my grind, you
Yeah.
know, my train of thought. So
Right.
so I didn't pretty much, you know, my second game, my high school year, my senior year, I hit 2 shots to win the game against number 17 Thornton, you know, and that put us in the top 25, and we had a pretty good team my senior year,
Yeah.
and me not playing prior to that, you know, I was able to excel a little bit, you know, throughout the course of the season, but it still went to a point where I was even dreaming about like this moment right now, you know, to
Right.
my career, you know, like, yeah, I'm finna go be playing pro basketball. Pro basketball wasn't even a thought, you know, in my
Nah.
mind, my senior year of high school. So I was just having fun, you know what I mean?
Right. Right. It's a Chicago kid having fun. All right, so I mean, I know obviously you went community college, but what was that like? I mean, and what was your mindset at this time? Were you kind of more into basketball, like chasing it, or were you just like, man, whatever, I'm gonna go see what this junior college hoops is about, and
Well, it started that summer. Once I figure out what school I was gonna go to,
you
of
went to
course,
Elgin, right? Elgin
yeah,
Community
Elgin
College.
Community College, yeah, Elgin Community College, and I went there for 2 years, 97 to 99, and out the gate, my first 3 games, I was averaging 33 a game. Like,
Is that hold on? Is that why you had him at 33?
no, no lie, no lie. Like we played a lot of basketball that summer. You know, my coach, you know, he put the team together. We went to a lot of different tournaments, you know, but like once that jump ball come, you know, it was just a different nature for me. You know, like once that jump ball come, like all going through my mind when I started playing JUCO was everybody who kept doubting me, you know, and that was just in my mind, like every
You was
game,
playing with a chip. You was playing with a chip in your shoulder at this point.
man. And it was nothing against anybody, you know what I'm saying? It was just how it was, you know, because
Yeah.
playing against a lot of basketball players, you know, who been all state, you know, and you know they've been playing AAU big time, you know, it's different. Everybody they look at them different. So
Yeah.
when it's time for me to step in that court, I feel like y'all finna look at me the same way y'all look at them.
So you came in blending dudes up, 33
Yeah,
and
man, out the gate, out the gate, you know, and you know that was a tough year my freshman year because going into the second half of the season we had 12 players ineligible. Literally, I can't make this up. 12.
that's real common in JUCO though. That
You know,
happens a
yeah,
lot
it
in
is.
JUCO.
It is because you know that's where players get their second. A lot of players get their second chance. You know, some who
Yeah.
could have went major D1, but then they come down and they still got them same bad habits. You know,
Yeah.
so but no, it's true. And you know, rolled that season out. You know, finished up being JUCO All-American after my second year, and it was
Did you have any offers on the table at this point after your second year? Or?
oh major confidence. You know, going back to Chicago, playing in the pro-ams. You know, like you know when you going back there, you playing against the pros, and then from JUCO, and then you go into the summertime, you playing against all that talent, and during the summertime, you know that boosts your confidence up. That boosts your confidence level, especially when you play at the level as all these other people. You
Right.
know, so but at the same time, I was still me. You know, I didn't like school,
Yeah.
so after that second year JUCO, I was home just chilling. You know,
You
I
didn't
was
have any
home.
offers? You didn't have any offers after
I
your
had
second
some
year?
offers, but I wasn't eligible.
Yeah.
You know, I couldn't get my grades up to be eligible to play at a Division I university. And I ain't gonna
Right.
lie, I wasn't going Division II, NAIA, or none of that. Like I wasn't. I
Yeah.
was stubborn. I was that stubborn. So I waited. You know, I waited a year, and when things didn't happen the way I wanted to, my uncle Dave, he just randomly called an agent out of the yellow pages, and
Yeah.
and said, "Yo, my nephew could play. Hey, y'all need to come take a look at him." My luck, like how everything's a coincidence. It was the same weekend as the as the as the draft camp in Chicago at Moody Bible. It was the same week,
Okay.
but it was the same. But they also had a draft camp at the Hoops, the gym, where everybody used to work at back in the day, where MJ used to work out. It was called Hoops, the gym. So they had a camp there. I went to the camp, and 3 days later, and got put on with an agent. And I know it sounds crazy as hell, you know, like I say, fast forwarding right now back to this my 20th year playing pro ball, you know, but
Yeah.
I just set out a whole year, you know, and that's why even now when I'm training little kids and I talk to other guys, like young guys, I tell them, yo, don't never give up. I mean, of course you got to have some game, you know, you got to have game, but never give up on yourself if you know you can hoop and you know you got that talent, because it's a lot of portals, it's a lot of different leagues that you could play in order to get your clout. You know, even from high school to college. You know, I tell a lot of people it ain't just Division 1. You can't go to D2, you know, D3, NAIA, and still excel and make it. You know, it ain't the route that a lot of people want to go, but it's there. You know.
So at this point, I mean, everything turned around in a matter of 3 days for you. So now you got an agent, and then what happens next?
After that, it was a team that was near Chicago called the Gary Steelheads in the CBA. It's an old league called the CBA. That was the league before the NBA Developmental League started calling up players, you know, for the NBA. That was the league everybody was getting call ups from. It's called the Continental Basketball Association. So I went there, you know, of course, you know, me still coming from a JUCO, ain't played in a year. They're like, you know, come to the tryout. You know, go to the tryout, you know, the local tryout. Went to the local tryout, killed, got a little press in the paper, just from being, you know, not from Gary, but still from Chicago. You know, they still mix that with the same kind of area, you know.
Yeah.
So I played in Gary, Indiana my rookie year. And my rookie year, it started off good the way I wanted it to, but then it didn't start off because the game that I was opening up, the third game of the season, I hurt my foot, out for the season.
Oh, man.
Rookie year, out for the season. And I'm playing with some good players, you know. Ed
What was it,
Cota,
a Jones fracture?
Man, no, that's when I dislocated my big toe.
Oh, okay.
And it was severe, you know, so I was out 3 months, you know, and it's a quick season. So I was still grinding. Like every other rookie who be coming, they be sitting on the bench, you know, like, man, I could play. They'll put me in the game, I'll put that work in. They'll sub me out, you know, and that's just what it is. That season was over with, went straight to the USBL because, you know, at that time you got to keep playing in order for like NBA scouts to see you. You know, you can't just be sitting at home, you know, or just waiting. So went to the USBL, boom, out in Washington, D.C. Robert Parrish, the head coach. You know, that's when everything started networking a little bit more for me. Robert Parrish, the head coach. Harvey Grant, the assistant coach. You know, I play out there. We doing pretty good. Then once again, right before the season started, I broke my hand. We didn't know I broke my hand. Look, but we didn't know I broke my hand. I dunked the ball, and I hit the top of my hand on the back of the rim.
Oh, shit.
You know, of course, a lot of people on the yeah. You know, I used to jump a little higher than usual. Hey, but at the same time, I didn't know. So I played 2.5 months with a fractured bone in my hand.
That's crazy.
It kept swelling up, swelling down. So then I ended up not playing the rest of the season because I had to get a cast. So that was the story of my first year. Injuries. You know, I made the cut and everything, but I was still hurt. Second year, came back to the CBA, played a little bit, went back to the USBL. But when I went back to USBL, that's when I got a taste with the Pennsylvania Valley Dogs and the guy from the Philippines, Sam Unera. So fast forward to a year later, he asked me to come to the Philippines. in
So that was
2000.
this is your first overseas gig, like traveling
Exactly,
out the country.
exactly. That's the first overseas gig right there.
And
The,
what was that like leaving like leaving your family at this time? Do you have Lou? Do you have Junior yet? Or no, not yet.
yeah, I have TJ. I have TJ at the time and Taylor. TJ and
Okay,
Taylor at the
so what
time.
was this like leaving the country, leaving your family behind, and just was this your first time out the country? I'm sure
First
in the
time,
city, kid.
man. First time ever leaving the country. Hey, man, it happened so fast. Like
Yeah.
I actually signed the contract to go to Israel.
Okay.
I signed to go to Israel, and but then when the Philippines, the offer came, and it was like, no, I gotta go to the Philippines, and it's a
Yeah.
shorter time. But when I got there, soon as first thing they did when I got off the plane at midnight, they took me straight to the doctor's office to get drug tested
Oh,
because I replaced the guy who I felt the drug test. So the first thing they did with me was take me straight in drug test. So I'm like man, all right, so cool. Take me to the hotel. You know, it's still nighttime. You know, so you know, and they speak English. They're in the Philippines, but they speak English.
oh yeah.
Man, the next morning I wake up. It's crowded. I wake outside. It's a million people outside. A million people, but people, everybody speaking English. A bunch of little kids running all over the place. But you playing 48 minutes a game, and you got to go out there and get every American out there is like averaging about like 35 or 35 points, 15 rebounds. You know, it's it's basketball to where it's not realistically how you're gonna be playing everywhere you go. It's good
Right,
money.
right.
It's good money, and I experienced it early in my career. You know, the great culture. You know, the basketball in the Philippines is amazing. You know, you get there, you get bonuses like crazy. You come in there, they'll be like, you beat this team, we giving you triple bonus. And then you beat the team, and then you come in there, you come like, they go like triple bonus. Don't worry, we know we're gonna double that. Like, like, like I played for FedEx, and the team I played for was FedEx Express.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
these are corporations, you know, like that you plan for out there.
top of the line
And
sponsors. Yeah.
man, top of the line, man. Like you can't get no better. Flying you over there, business class, you know, everything is great. And that was my first experience overseas. So I'm like,
And
you
you
know,
like
you in a
cool.
5-star hotel, you know, you like man, all right, you know, the
Yeah.
basketball is crazy. So I do I leave there and I go back to the NBDL. Of course, you know, I go back. I played 2 years prior to that in NBDL. Things didn't work out the way I thought it should have worked out. You know, so of course now I'm chasing the NBA. I'm not gonna say chasing the dream because I didn't grow up that way. You know, like you know how I always talk to you know, and saying like, but like
Yeah.
I'm different from certain cats. You know, certain cats wanna they chased it so long, you know, playing AAU basketball, you know, training, you know. And
Right.
my path it wasn't that chase, it just happened, you know. But, you know, I went back to the NBDL, it didn't cut out, you know, and won a championship. Came back and won a championship
That's tough.
with the Asheville altitude, with Joe Forte was on that team, Ron Slade, Lenny Stokes, all these cats, you know, these Conference USA players, you know, and like once again, I'm proving that I'm playing with these cats and these my guys, you know. But you know, we won a D League championship. Now, one player on our team got a call up.
And y'all won the chip.
We won the D League championship. Now, one player on the team got a call up. Not one.
That's
Now, how crazy
crazy.
is that? Now
That's crazy.
that's how it'll knock you off with the D League, you know, because it's like they tell people, you know, you go to the D League, opportunity, you know, opportunity come, you know, but it's like, dang, you risk going to the D League for $23,000. That was the max at the time I was in the D League. 23,000, 20,000, and 12,000. ABC.
Yeah.
And you go overseas and you make that in 1 month.
So you
You
taking
know,
a cut
like
at this point, yeah.
and to not get a call up, it hurt a lot of players too. You know, because a lot of players too, they go there and they don't perform, so it hurt their stock. So that's why I
Yeah,
tell cats, if you can go overseas and you can get some bread, then go get it. Like if right out the gate, if you're not no draft pick, you're gonna be hunting, but you can hunt a little bit later, secure
right.
it first. You know, because a lot of
Build
players
your
regret that.
resume, get that bread overseas, and then try to make that jump to the league.
And you know, and of course I'm different. You know what I'm saying? I was different because I had to build my resume up even just to get
Right.
overseas. You
Yep.
know, but it was just something that always was eager to do. You know, I had that grind, I had that chip on my shoulder all the time. You know what? I'm hooping. And I was hooping. I'm like, yo, I'm hooping. And it's fun. You know, but
Yeah.
I don't get paid for it though.
So I know you've been all over the world, man. Like probably more countries than I even know. Like, so I mean, just kind of like cliff notes, certain seasons. Like, tell me about a season where you had major adversity, where you had like, maybe the basketball was different, you had to adapt, or like some teammates, some jokers, like some shady coaches or something. Like, just touch on some seasons that you want to that really like memorable.
Oh man. You know, I say
Wait, what was the year after you won the chip in the D League? You got no call ups. What was the year after that? Like,
actually no call ups. I went straight to Venezuela.
ooh,
I went after I won the championship in the D League. I went straight to Venezuela. I went straight to Venezuela, and that was my first year playing with Guados de Lara.
Latin
And
American.
they was in last dog, man. They was in last place when I got there. I got there the same time. Oh my God. I always forget this kid name, man. But I'll tell you, ready to come back. I ended up playing with Marcus Hatton. Me and Marcus Hatton ended up playing on the same team. Me, him, and this white boy named Brent Bailey. It was three imports at the time.
Okay.
And we we lost the first three games, but we played against Marinos and Trotamundos. You know, of course, two of the bigger teams in Venezuela.
Yeah.
We lost them first three games, then we ran off 16 of the last 19 games.
Damn.
Ran through the league. We lost in the championship that year to Marinos 4-2, you know, but it was that year, and then right after that, that's when I came to DR, came to Dominican to La Vega
That's when the
for the
floodgates
finals,
opened up for South
and
America.
I won that championship. I won a championship
Oh, you
there.
won your chip your first year?
I La Vega brought me in for the finals.
Okay.
They brought me in for the finals. I won a champ. You probably saw the dunks that I just posted a couple of
Yeah,
days
yeah, I
ago.
seen those on
Yeah, that's from
Facebook.
that game. You can
Okay,
see the
yeah.
gates around there, La Vega. They brought me in for game one of the finals.
Do that, like staying professional and just doing your job, like while all this new stuff. For like with
All I
some of the guys trying to
no,
go overseas and
all
stuff, like the younger cats.
with me, all I know at the time, see, with me, all I knew was they wanted me to come in, and I was just, it was just my game. Like that was just me, you know, getting the rebound, pushing the floor, you know, catching the oops, banging out. Like I was just a scorer. Everybody don't get it that way, you know. Like with me, everywhere I went, I was adapted to just being the scorer, you know. And if I did have to adapt, you know, it's times where you go to some countries and you're playing with some national team players, you know, and you
Yeah.
gotta, you know, when you gotta sometimes, you gotta bow down a little bit, you know, just to be comfortable with the team. But to be comfortable, you have to play your game. If you're not playing your game, you're not going to be comfortable with that team. And sometimes teams will try to change your game, and you can adapt and then later on evolve. But it all depends on the right country, the right team, you know, because you know how that is when some people trying to change your game, you know, and they bring
And
you
they
in
looking like robots out there. They look.
what do you mean I can't catch the ball and rip through like this is what I do, you know,
Yeah.
like nah, we need you to pass the ball, cut through, you know, get the ball off the screen, you know, like it's like that. You like when
And
you go to
and if
certain countries, you know,
and as a player,
Argentina.
And as a player, if you're not mentally ready for that, it could really take away from your game and hurt your career. Because
No,
now,
true that.
now you're listening to the coach and you're not playing your game. Like you said, you can adapt, but you still got to play within your game.
Yes, yes. And if they don't accept that, then you have to talk with them, and you just gotta find a ways to part ways and just go find somewhere else that could adapt to your game. But
Right.
don't act a fool. That's
Be
the thing, because you don't want to burn bridges neither. Because you could get better and play good and play better through the next couple of years, and that same team or coach might want you back.
right.
And I ain't gonna lie, throughout the course of my career, I ain't gonna say burn bridges, but it was just more on, I'm a man and you have to respect me. Sometimes when you're overseas, they treat some players like kids. When the Americans, no, like
Yeah.
we're all adults. Even they're
Yeah.
adults too.
Yeah.
But it's cool. It's just adapting. Adapting to the situation. And if you want to be a professional, you want to play a long career, you gotta be able to adapt. Like,
Absolutely.
you have no choice.
So cool. So you ended up winning. At this point, you got what? Three chips? Two chips?
Two chips, 2 out of 3 in 1 year.
2 out of 3 in 1 year. So cool. So
2005.
what was after La Vega? You went from Venezuela to La Vega.
Yeah.
You can skip some seasons too. I know you got a long resume.
I
So
mean, yeah. I mean, right before that, I was in preseason with Detroit in
okay.
2004. After they won the championship and beat LA. I was in preseason with them, and having a good preseason hurt my hamstring. Like that was kind of the story of my career early. Like right before that stint of 2005, where I just started going overseas.
Yeah.
Like even when I was in the D League, like I hurt my ankle. Like it was just like dang, good season, boom, down for a little bit. But there was no major injuries, no surgery.
Yeah.
But after that, after La Vega, that's when I went to Spain. No, I went to Israel. I went to Israel. It was different. Packed light. I
Yeah.
packed light to knowing that I probably should have packed heavy because it's a good experience in Israel. It's a good country to play in.
Yeah.
You can move around. It's not just the desert.
I heard it's very modernized, like very, like kind of like the U.S.
Yeah, it is. It is. Expressways. Like they got beaches. It's real great, nice malls. Like shopping areas, everything, school, and everything is great there. Israel, floated from Israel to Spain. Art a
How
little
different is the basketball in Europe, Spain compared to like Latin America, like Venezuela to DR?
at the time in Spain, you couldn't swing, rip through. You had to put the ball immediately down. I averaged 4 turnovers a game because it's just
Yeah.
natural. Like even when somebody throw you the ball in a fast break, you catch the ball in stride and lay it in.
They was
That's
calling that
traveling.
travel. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was like damn, like for a minute how you second guessing yourself, like,
Right.
man, is this really basketball, man? Like what's going on? But I still had a high volumeration. I averaged 17 and 10 out there. I'm a walking double.
Yeah.
No. But I was having a good season. It was just them turnovers at times, where you forgetting how to do things, saying that rip through. But they also taught you different basketball too. Kind of like how you play in Argentina. And it's different because that's the only thing that's really different is ripping through. Like if you could rip through in Spain, the basketball would be, I say, it's already better than Latin America, of course.
Yeah.
But they changed that rule already, and you could do that. Latin America depends on what country you catch. It's just organized street ball.
Yep.
Like to be honest, like it's you got Venezuela, you got Venezuela. Of course, you got the major league in Dominican Republic.
Yeah.
The LNB. You got Puerto Rico, Argentina, Chile. But then when you start going to some of these smaller countries, you know, like a Panama, you
Yeah.
know, or like Ecuador, like basketball it can get real physical and out of control. Not that it can't be good basketball, but
It's different.
yeah, basketball is not the same everywhere. You know, it might not be air conditioned in the gym. You know, you might be playing 100 degrees. You
Yeah.
know, or you might be found somewhere and it might be 20 degrees in the gym. You
Yeah.
know, so it's like it's no consistency if you keep moving around and hopping around. You know, you're gonna find something. You're gonna find something that you don't like.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So yeah, I know you mentioned Puerto Rico. I know you played there a bunch of seasons. What was it like there? I know they bring in some big time players, and it's like now I think it's like a pretty respectable, proven league. I feel like one of the top in Latin America.
Yeah, man. Played 8 years in Puerto Rico. Man,
Just
8 dog, all, lot, dog, 8 years, man. 2 years with Guaynabo, 3 years with Bayamon, 2 years with Cape Diaz. Won a championship with Ponce. You know, like it's it's a very good league. You know,
yeah,
a lot of the Puerto Rican players, you know, they didn't play a lot of Division I basketball, which make the league a lot better, make it a high IQ league. You
high
know,
IQ. Yeah,
yeah, you know, and of course, you know, them bringing in at times two and maybe three imports. You know, sometimes when they had a Latin American import player,
yeah,
you know, it's very good league. When I first went there, it was 12 teams. You know, it was a lot of teams there when I first went there. And of course, you know, throughout the course of, you know, the economy and everything, teams dropped off. But
yeah.
still a very good competitive league. A lot of NBA players go through there. And you got to go there and play. Don't go there thinking some Rudy Poo league. Like I seen
Yeah.
NBA players go there and get cut.
Right.
You know, so so
So
they're definitely one of the best countries to play in.
at this point in your career, have you ever came across getting cut or let go from a team besides like, maybe an injury or something? But has a team ever like let you go yet at this point?
At this point, up until no,
Okay.
up until that point, up until that point, okay, Israel and Spain, it was internal problems. Of course, both times leading the team and scoring and rebounding. but that was that was more that was more internal problems, right there. So but up until that point, as far as game, no, everywhere, stuck everywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's tough.
all the way up until then, and that was going into 2007 when I went to Korea. That,
Was the year you played with Reggie, right?
yeah, we out in Korea. I was the number one pick in the draft,
Okay.
and man, we was out in Vegas. We had the draft. All the teams met. That year was was a great year, man. That year met a lot of good friends that year. Um, we missed the playoffs in a three-way tiebreaker. I still got MVP of the year that year.
Yeah.
Still got MVP.
Damn.
And Reggie ended up he ended up winning the finals that year. He won. He got finals MVP. He But yeah, that year I led the league in scoring. I was second in the league in rebounding. I was shooting 60% from the field.
Yeah.
Like that year,
It's balling,
and I
hooping.
and I play I played with three different imports that year too. And they traded players, you know, they was trading players. Like
Yeah.
but Korea is a great place to play. Like I recommend that to anybody.
Yeah.
Anybody who I know got game, I always tell them get to career, because that's that you could get there, and you could, and that could change your life for real, for playing out there, like for real, and you could play there for, and you could have that longevity and play there for a long time. Yeah, great place to play
So
career.
at that point, are you still with the same agent that you first signed with, or I
Yeah, I
know
am.
I know a lot of young guys are worried about coming out of college and signing with an agent. That's like seems like the most concern for them, you know, signing with an agent and stuff. But even Reggie touched upon it, like, man, at this point he was like he let his agent go and he was just off Facebook, you know what I mean? Because he already been a couple places, so he was networking and he was making like good friends and all that. So
I had the
talk
same.
to us
Yes, I
about.
did. I still had the same agent, Mike Nadich. Mike Nadich was my agent, and he was my agent, I want to say, up until 2009. I had him in 2009, and then after that, I was with Jose Paris from Puerto Rico, and then I was with him for about 5 years. Then 5, 6 years. Then after that, I was just, at that point, most of the teams and GMs, they know what they want. They know if they want me, and then, of course, Jordan Oliver, he was, he's from Dominican too, he be representing me out there,
Yeah.
and just different agents. You know how nowadays with social media, you know, you got random agents who will just find jobs, and they'll call you.
Yeah.
Hell, my man, fam, you got me jobs before, my G.
Right.
So,
Yeah, that's really how it be, man. Like,
so it's you do have to have the right agent, but having the right agent ain't got nothing to do with your game. You can have the right agent and no game and get cut, and you could. But yes, the right agent can get you looked at, and I think sometimes sticking with this, with doing your research before you pick that agent, can help you in the long run as well. So you won't have to keep hopping around.
absolutely.